Yes, indeedy. Oh, lovely. Okay, enough. Welcome to the Chelsea Football Fancast, fueled by Guinness, powered by celery, the show that is never, ever lazy in the first half. Well, we hope not anyway. I am Stamford Chidge, and the name of tonight's show is Tally Ho! Why do you think it's called Tally Ho?
No idea.
Because we play against the Foxes, you see.
That's right!
You see, you're called
Jonathan
Leicester City.
wins tonight's prize, which is
a
a night out with Dr. Mark.
Oh, lovely.
Anyway, enough of that.
Second prize 2 nights out.
I wish I'd have one. I should have one of those hunting horns.
Would you have been able to play it?
Yeah, I could. I could blow my trumpet.
Oh, really?
Somebody has to.
Somebody has to.
Anyway, getting on with the show, because I suppose we ought to really. There is nothing quite like being at home, and a top day was had by all before and after, with quite a few, I have to say. Clearly lacking match fitness in the drinking stakes. More of that later. Now, thanks to the Finbar Arms very much for looking after us so well pre-match. And as for the match itself, it was definitely a game of two halves, as a determined Leicester side proved hard to break down and were in fact a threat on the break. Of course, it very much looked like last year, I felt at the time. But anyway, thankfully, yes, it did, didn't it? Anyway, Jose thankfully gave them a right old rollicking at half-time, and it clearly woke them up. And of course, it was pretty much one-way traffic for the rest of the game, thankfully, as we had the Foxes on the run. And of course, Costa and Hazard made sure of the result with a 2-0 win. So there we go. Now, joining me tonight in our slightly new look. You like my Dr. Evil chair? £1 billion. I quite like that. Got a Dr. Evil chair, and we've got a sofa. The boys need a sofa. I thought that would be quite nice to have a sofa.
So far, so
bit
good.
Easy to fall asleep.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the reason I've got a sofa, Jonathan, is because you normally fall asleep at the desk. But when you've got a desk, it's a bit too obvious that you're falling asleep.
Perfect.
Whereas I'm kind of hoping that we won't notice.
You won't notice.
Exactly. Yeah. But I have, on the show tonight, I have the lovely people that are Dr. Mart.
Good evening.
The return of Pablo.
Good evening, Chid.
Second only to the return of Didier Drogba.
I quite like this as well, because I can now sort of distance myself from your rants.
Oh, I don't know quite how to take that, but I'll take it.
But it is more difficult to headbutt him.
And of course, last but no means least, we've got the lovely, delightful, the very lovely Jonathan Kidd.
Two lovelies, thank you.
You're very lovely. And of course, other than this lot here, this lot on the sofas, we've got, in fact, the wonderful people on the benches over there somewhere. Hello, benches.
Benches.
Look at that, they're crammed. It's all ticket tonight, isn't it? It's all right, you can say something. Deary me. Nice to see them. Now, look, if you lot out there want to be on the benches, you better hurry up, because obviously space is limited. But all you need to do is send us an email to chelseafancast@gmail.com. It may go on your screen sometime. There we go. Lovely. Just send me an email.
Very little, you could have more people in.
Well, we could.
If they're under 5 foot.
We might have to hire a bigger studio just to accommodate them. But
That's
anyway, right, now on the show tonight, getting on with matters in hand, on the show tonight, we're obviously going to be having a look at Ross's ratings in a minute for the Leicester game, and we'll be discussing lazy players, a game of two halves, and the return of not Pablo, but Didier Drogba. We've got Fannies, of course, this week for the Leicester game, and we'll be awarding our man of the match, chant of the match, salary, and Guinness moments. You have approximately 25 minutes to get your votes in for the Fannies by going to the website where you can vote. And there you go. Well, that's the email address, but you can vote for the Fannies at chelseafancast.com/the-Fannies. I have to be very careful how I say that, Jonathan, don't I?
You do.
Anyway, there we go.
If there was an M in there, it'd be rather different.
I'll repeat it for those of hard of thinking. It is chelseafancast.com/the-Fannies. Blimey, it's hard. It is complicated. Anyway, right, later in the show, we're also going to be having a chat with my old mate and football writer and friend of this very show, the lovely Rob Shepherd, about what he thinks of Chelsea's win, and we'll be picking his brains about possible ins and outs. Because it's the last week of the transfer window, of course. So, I mean, Rob's got some good tips, as we know. And, of course, we're going to be paying tribute to the lovely, late-lamented Lord Dickie Attenborough, who sadly passed away this weekend. So it's a packed show, but there is more, because, of course, we have to have the Chelsea Chatter Stats and a bit of Chelsea News Roundup as well. So loads, and there's so much in it, as they used to say about the ITV Times, isn't it? I never knew there was so much in it.
Yeah, that's right.
So there you go. Now, don't forget, you can actually tweet us during the lovely old show at Chelsea FanCast. That's the Twitter address, at Chelsea FanCast. It might be an idea to put the hashtag Chelsea FanCast as well. And of course, if you're listening rather than watching, you must be mad because the sound quality is much better if you watch. It's a bit like Test Match Special, but the other way around. Listen to what you're watching, and then you can put stuff on the Mixlr page and all that kind of thing. But Mixlr is mixlr.com/Chelsea-FanCast. Blimey, it's all go tonight. Now, I think we should talk about some football, shouldn't we, after all that?
I think we
I'm
should.
exhausted. I need a lot. Can I tell you what, we'll swap? I'll lie down on the sofa.
Well, Pablo wanted to sit there anyway.
Did he? He likes the Dr. Evil chair.
Yeah.
I also kind of feel a bit of a Kenny. If I had the camera a bit wider, I could do a bit of a Kenny Everett moment. Cupid
In
stuff.
the best possible taste.
All done in the best possible taste.
You could wear some very
Possible
frilly
taste.
knickers, couldn't you?
I think I might just wear a dress next week and some frilly knickers, John. That's the best idea you've ever
We
had.
don't normally do that on Tuesdays.
Let's talk some football. We've got Chelsea versus Leicester, and of course we've got dear old Ross's ratings, which he didn't do. I did them. Can we have a look at the ratings, please?
Didn't you
Gallery?
do them last week as well?
I did cheat. I do like to
is
cheat. There we go. Right, here you go. Well,
Has Ross been
I-
retired from
Can
that?
we
No.
change it to Chidge's choices?
No, good. Chidge's choices.
Yeah.
Chidge's cock-ups would be probably more appropriate. Right, there we go. We've got a jolly old
turn the
number
neck round.
7. Number 7 for Mr. Courtois. We've got an 8, a huge stonking 8 for the big Serb, otherwise known as Brana Ivanovic. We've got a 6 for Gary Cahill, a 6 for John Terry, a 6 for Aspilicueta. We've got a 6 for Fabregas, a 6 for Matic, a 6 for Schürrle, an 8 for Oscar.
That looks like a 6.
Sorry, it's a 6. You're dead right, Pablo. Hazard's got 7. Costa's got 6. And the subs, Ramirez 6, Williams 7, Drogba 6. Now, before everybody coats me off, this is very much in the style of Ross Mooring. Almost, 6 is a good mark. 6 is not a bad mark. 6 is not a bad mark.
Very
6 is a good
contentious.
mark. Okay? So there we go. So they've done very well. That's what I'm saying. But what I really want to talk about first is this.
All done very well.
They've
Shot
all
from the
done very
Got
well.
a shot from the side, Chidge.
Side shot. That puts pounds on me.
Oh,
I have to
we're back
breathe
on
in.
again.
You warn me when you do that because I have to breathe in.
Oh,
Goodness
taking
me.
me back
Thanks for
there.
letting me know,
Yeah, I
Jonathan.
think you ought to know about
You
it.
can
It's
tell
a
Jonathan.
novelty in the show.
You can tell Jonathan's an actor because he thinks about things like
I
that.
saw my profile. Oh,
Who is that
oh, it's now
handsome chap?
close up. Hello.
I want to talk about football. Shut up.
Sorry.
Right, Brana. On fire at the moment, I think. I mean, he's getting into scoring positions
He's pushing him
regularly.
forward all the time, though, doesn't he? They seem to play better when he starts going up into the.
Well, I mean, it was quite obvious last
Attack.
year that teams were effectively taking a man away from their left-hand side because Ivanovic wasn't particularly effective.
But not this
going
year.
forward.
I mean, he had shots, he had
he
headers,
did-
he had Martin was telling me
He was
about.
the complete right back.
It was
But he's-
it was 2 years ago as well, after the Euros when Serbia didn't play as well. He started that season in absolutely ridiculous form. He got like 2 in his first 2 games. He scored at the start of last season as well. He just starts seasons well. I
He
think.
could have scored 3.
I know.
Saturday.
But
I
he's
just
not
don't-
going down the right wing as much. He seems to be running into the middle much more. 'Cause
That's
down
right,
the
he's driving
wing,
in.
He wasn't very effective with his crossing.
But he's
last year.
driving in from
He's
the right
actually
wing,
driving in from,
yeah.
much more.
I did
from the
like it.
centre.
I mean, I love Brenner anyway, but I'm really just stoked for how well he's played in the last 2
Absolutely.
games.
Yeah, superb.
And he got an assist, and I think Courtois definitely deserves his 7. Game-changing save from Ted
Yeah.
Nugent. It is Ted Nugent, isn't it? Catch, scratch, fever.
Yeah.
What's the other? And he likes shooting animals, doesn't he? He's a bit of a hunter. Ted Nugent. Catch,
shoot-
scratch, fever.
Don't shoot foxes, though.
In fact, actually, I think that he shoots just as badly as Ted Nugent. Perhaps, I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was a great save, game-changing, and I think a really impressive start to his career, Smart. What do you think?
I think very good. Yeah, I think he played very well. And actually, the difference between this week's Ross's ratings, also
really
done,
Chidge's
also done by
ratings.
Chidge,
Yeah.
and this week's Ross's ratings, which are also done by Chidge, is actually I agree with all this
Oh,
week,
right.
and I didn't last week.
Okay.
The only
I'm
one
so
I would,
glad we have your
the only one I would
approval,
marginally question is I'd give Hazard 3.5 because he didn't actually play the first half. Well, he was on the pitch, but
Well,
he
I
didn't
think
really
actually
play.
you could say that about a lot of
Yeah,
them.
I don't think it's fair
We all
to single
wondered
one
about
person
I
him.
thought
out.
Hazard did all right.
He was totally anonymous, though.
Costa scores again, 2 in 2, so he's on course for 38 goals this season, Jonathan. But I don't think he was at his best. But isn't it lovely to see a striker still finding the net at Chelsea when he's not playing at his
I
best?
just like his commitment. I just like his there's a strength to him that is so missing in Torres.
He's got an intelligence that we've never seen in Fernando Torres as well. He kind of like.
Oh
he
dear!
comes
All the
he comes to
fanboys will
life,
be
like-
coating you off on Twitter,
They
Pablo.
can do what they want. I'm right.
And what he's got is confidence.
Well, no, it's the ability to know where to go and to
Yeah.
come alive into the box and not to shirk responsibility, because he hasn't done that at all. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and
something that-
anticipate. He
yeah.
seems to be good at anticipate. He wants the ball is the main thing, which you get the impression with he who shall not
Now,
be named.
before
He's not
before
interested.
we have to go to part 2, I want to have a quick chat with the people on the benches. Can we have a look at the people on the benches, please? What do you think of my wonderful ratings that are actually Ross's, but they're not really?
I didn't find myself 100% in agreement with them.
Then if you don't agree with them, they're Ross's ratings.
Okay, they're Ross's ratings, they're not Chidge's choices.
Why didn't you agree with them?
I thought they were a bit harsh. I mean, for
No. See, you've got it all wrong, Teresa. 6 is a good mark in Ross's book.
It's not.
6 is a
It's
good mark.
average. 7 is a good mark.
No. 6 in Ross's system. 6 is a good mark. Trust me.
So,
on this.
so it's Ross's system, not yours.
That's right.
For consistency, yes.
I think we should move on. I don't want to talk to the benches that are going to be so negatory. You're supposed to be supporters, not misery guts.
I think they're being
I'm
inquisitive.
supportive. I'm
Are
saying
you?
you're being
Yeah,
I think they're being downright toady, mate.
Oh, well.
Unflinching loyalty is all we are.
Hey ho, whatever. I think we should probably go to a break in a minute, but just before we do, I want to say I think that Willian, a lovely cameo again. I think Willian's the only Brazilian who's kind of not on his holidays. Anyway, I can't let you answer that because we do have to go to a break. Are we going to a break, people in the gallery? It'd be really nice to. Let's go to a break. We'll see you in a minute. How about that?